just presented to me.
What, this one?
Mi fior! Mi fior! Yeah, that book with Hitler. You know the funny thing is about the Nazis, I was reading about like the way that had like, whoever drew that artistically is a beast. That is anti-Semitism. It's bad enough you talk about the Jewish community and your name is Raheem. That does not do you any service, young man. But yeah. When I was doing some research on the Indus Valleys, they were emphasizing a lot on the Aryan invasion and what led on and transpired in India.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the origins of Hinduism and how that came about because that had to do with the Aryans, the Indo-Europeans. And you said that you're an Indo-Jamaican, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So you must know a decent portion about the Indo-Europeans or people who are like from the likes of Iran, Persia.
I mean, I don't have any direct connection or influence in my life with them, but I will research them. But yeah, can you see this?
Yes, I can. Ho ho! Hey man, Jutsu might get on me just for having this up.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can read it, but it says in German here, the Jew is a bastard.
Yeah, I already know Juden means, yeah, I already knew.
Yeah.
And you remember the episode of South Park where Cartman was dressing up as Hitler and he riled up a bunch of people because he was trying to like reenact Nazi Germany. He was like Zemuden, El Juden, El Strat, or something like that.
Yeah. And here's the Hamite. And here's an Oriental, which looks like a light skin to me.
Wow.
Don't know if you could see that.
Oriental, you said?
Yeah.
Oh man, do you know that how difficult it is? Speaking of Orientals and Asians, you know how difficult it is for a Jewish person to walk into Malaysia?
Probably very difficult.
Because like 2/3 of the population there is Muslim in Malaysia.
Oh shit, yeah. But, in the middle, right there, there's a G in the middle, but it says Nagar.
Ooh, Daniel, do you remember when we spoke about Nagar music? Like they're referring to in reference to jazz and how that was stigmatized during Nazi Germany? I found an interesting article on it. I'll send you it later. And I will see those links too. Now the conversation's getting interesting. You just had to get comfortable again, Daniel. It has been a while since we had a Skype conversation. It's been a hot minute.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm trying to find that picture actually right now. Where is it? I'll just type it up. Hold on.
You good, bro?
Degenerate music. It's called.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying about the indigenous Indians and Indus Valleys. And when I was reading it, they were speaking about the Aryan race, and they talked about a man who was born a German. Yep, that's what I'm referring to. Nagar.
And if I go closer, you see that Star of David?
Yep, the Star of David. Because the Jews thought that this was something. I mean, not the Jews. The Germans thought this was something to advocate or be in support of Jewish people. And I guess this probably was around the same time period where blacks were already like collaborating with Caucasian Jews. So go figure. Do you know that I'm gonna save that for White Supremacy Paradox Part 3. I was gonna talk about one of the NAACP founders. I will talk about one of the women. Her name is like Frances or Francine. That's one of the founders. And the other founder was a man who was a doctor. His name is Dr. Henry Moskowitz, he was a Jew too, of the NAACP. And we all know W.E.B. Du Bois.
I think, is it Du Bois or Dubois?
I think it's Du Bois, that W.E.B. Du Bois. I'm used to hearing that one. Who was actually, and allegedly, he was one of the was a part of the Pan-African movement, just like Marcus Garvey.
Oh no, it was J.A. Rogers who was from Jamaica.
I wish more people would talk about the likes of J.A. Rogers and Benjamin Banneker and Garrett Morgan and Sun Ra.
Yeah.
See, Sun Ra spent a lot of time here in Chicago. Sun Ra actually is from Alabama, but he was born in 1914. And during that time period he was born was the Great Migration here in America, where people from the South would migrate to places like Chicago and Detroit and Indiana or Indianapolis, and Chicago was definitely like ground zero when it came to jazz music. That's where a lot of artists like Ahmed Jamal and the likes of Sun Ra, or Sony Ray as he called himself, came from, doing a lot of his music. Like, man, that dude, you know how much Sun Ra music that I've added to my playlist? Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, he's got some crazy tunes.
Sun Ra was just incredible, man. And I have watched the entirety of Space Is the Place. That, like, it's kind of, I can't even say it's a musical. It's just like a documentary and a movie at the same time. It's incredible. I got a whole bunch of films that I want to watch. Ralph Bosky, the guy who made, and he's actually, I believe he's a Palestinian. I think he's like a British Palestinian dude, and he made Coonskin. He also made that film there where you had that where that crow was just brushing off those females who resembled white liberal women. Remember that little cartoon back in the days?
Fritz
he
the
made
cat.
that.
Fritz
he actually,
the cat, yeah.
Yep. Ralphie Bosky, he actually created that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Wow,
yep.
That's crazy.
But it's funny how everything comes full circle, man, because back to the Jews, and he was a Palestinian. Then they called them like the Phoenicians or something like that. Like
you're talking about ancient... the Phoenicians.
Phoenicians, there we go. The Phoenicians, yeah.
Well, the Palestine area was, before it was called Palestine, it was Philistine.
Yeah, Philistine. Yep.
Yeah. Phoenicia is like kind of slightly, I think, northeast of Egypt, maybe?
It's around that vicinity.
Yeah.
They're around each other.
Or maybe, I'm not sure, actually.
And like I stated earlier, I was looking up ethnic groups, the Nubians, the Bejas, the Berbers, which all have a connection to the Moors.
Yep.
Kyle said he's going to come out with the second part of his videos with the Mars and the Moors. And, you know, I think about lines that Lil Wayne says. Like, Lil Wayne always said, "We are not the same. I am a Martian."
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's not stupid, though, because Lil Wayne actually went to a prestigious school, and he majored in like psychology, which, go figure, he's a music artist. And if you could influence people with your words, you can do the same with your music. See, that's why when Tommy would always say, "Who am I harming?" I like all y'all want to say that my videos do so much harm. Hey, Joseph Goebbels, who was a part of the Nazi regime and the Nazi party, I'm sure he didn't lay his hand on a Jew during the Nazi Germany days. But we see what all that propaganda did during that time period. You had all these, I mean, Europe already has a history of having disdain and having contempt for Jewish people, but that amplified it. So when I hear dudes like Tommy talk about, "Oh man, so I don't know how black folks could just assume that my videos can cause any harm or any damage," nigga, you an outlet to dysfunction just like that Jew Vlad.
To be honest, it's pretty disingenuous to say something like that, and I am. I guess a follower of Tommy. Well, not so much recently, but I'm still subscribed to his channel.
I am too, but I just like to keep my tabs on him, and I don't care if he hears this shit. He took my thumbnail, so I'm sure he may hear this.
It is a bit disingenuous to say, who am I harming when, I mean, you should know, especially him. He has researched conspiracies in the past. He should know that words are spells.
Oh, of course, words are spells.
He should know that. So to say who is he harming when he's putting out, certain content out there, he's getting a reaction. He's getting an angry reaction.
Yeah, there's no rules of reaction. And That's what and I'm glad that you said that, because when I was talking about spells, like even the things that we type and the codes are encrypted and embedded in all the algorithms, and even when I was referring to the daemon, which is an aspect of computer science, and it's all about whatever you want to embed and whatever script that you want to encode in whatever in the computer. Like I even think about but getting back to Tommy, like, yeah, it's all spells. It's all part. See, I think, and this is what I'm gonna say to him. His content to me is like a form of manifest destiny. And let's look up what the word manifest destiny means, Daniel, so it doesn't seem like I'm talking out my ass.
Yeah, go ahead.
Manifest destiny. In the 19th century, a doctrine or belief that the expansion of the U.S. throughout the American continents were justifiable and inevitable. Now, it's the ending part that stands out to me. So, the expansion of his content, okay, based off of what we see in the fucked up state in the so-called black community, it's justifiable and it's inevitable that somebody's going to want to talk about it. Somebody's going to want to report on it. Somebody's going to want to get a buck out of it. And Tommy being one of those people, just like Fat Fuck Q and his staff like Abdul and Ghost and Persist of World Star and the Jew John Weinberg, who's a sales marketer. That's how I look at him. And many other people, not just him. Like, me and Brother Kel, we were talking about Black Planet. Not sure if you know about Black Planet. You probably do. Well, Black Planet was actually discovered by a dude who has German Jewish lineage.
Are you talking about the Fiya of a Black Planet?
No. Black Planet, where it was a dating site where people would hook up.
Oh, no, I've never heard of
Omar Washkow, that's his name. I brought him up in like 2 videos. Who else has German Jewish lineage? Karl Marx. You know, the Germans have done a lot of interesting things. Even in Egyptianology, there's this guy, and this is back when German was still considered Prussia. And this is the guy who also published the book of the Dead.
Oh, the Egyptian Book of the Dead?
Mm-hmm.
I've got that. Yeah, I gotta read that. It's still in the wrapping.
Yeah, because they got the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and apparently they got an American Book of the Dead. I got that on my Amazon, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, before America was called America, it was called Amexem, and the whole East Coast was basically Moorish territory.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would explain all the Israelites in Philly.
And that grimy attitude in New York. That's that Moorish attitude.
I mean, even when I think about it, a lot of especially in New York, there's a lot of Caribbeans that stay there.
Yep.
Haitians and Jamaicans and Trinidadians. Yep. And Dominicans and Cubans.
Types.
I've been to New York like twice in my life. I haven't been there since I was 16. I remember one time I went to the Statue of Liberty as a kid. I was scared as fuck. I don't even remember it. I just remember being terrified. I was like petrified. I was like a toddler at the time, granted, but I always hated being in high altitude and heights, man. Whew.
Did you notice the chain around the ankle?
Of course.
Yeah.
Even as a kid.
Yeah. Apparently, it was supposed to be an African woman's face. Something to do with was it the emancipation of slavery? They were gonna the French. Was it a gift from the French? I think that statue. I think it was. I think it was a gift from the French.
Oh, I was speaking about James Fortin earlier, and he was talking about they were talking about with him in regards to, speaking of the East Coast, because he's from Philly. He's from Pennsylvania. And he was a part of the American Revolution, and allegedly he, I guess in an indirect way, he planted a seed to help the whole situation with the Emancipation Proclamation because of his contributions to America. I mean, they already know they exploit these so-called Negroes, but he did a lot of things. He created ships. He was an investor. He was a businessman. He did a lot of things that couldn't be overlooked, just like Benjamin Banneker, just like Garrett Morgan, who created the traffic lights and the gas mask.
Wow.
And his parents, one of his parents was an Aboriginal American here. Man, send me that screenshot again of that video of Fuck the Diaspora Part 5 again, bro, because I just, like, what did they say exactly? What did they tell you? Like, why?
Where is it? There it is.
Because that never happened to me, man. I'm like, my Daniel, bro, my video was accumulating like crazy. Like, seriously, that shit was accumulating. Oh, here it is. The following content has been identifying community inappropriate or offensive. Pisha. That's like I was telling you earlier about Tommy and the whole surviving Judaism and how they demonetized this shit. I'm like, dude, they demonetized my channel because I was talking about you and Tariq, like I stated earlier. Like, come on, man. And I've had that. I didn't even have that channel for I didn't even start making videos. I've had that channel for a minute. 6 years at the time, but I didn't even have that start making videos for an entire year and they pulled that shit. It's like Mossad and the Jewish Defense League gonna put a hit on and put a bounty on people who keep saying stuff on YouTube or any other platform.
Tommy.
Yeah.
What are you?
Do you know that this dude got caught massively simping?
Really?
Yes. This was in October of 2018. This wasn't that long ago. Like, there was texts and there was like a transcript of messages. And you know how I know that the girl wasn't lying about the number? Because I have Tommy's number myself. That's how I know she's not lying. Dude was pussy begging. Like, he just kept like, hello, baby, you're just like the most perfect thing. And then I was like, oh my, I got the video on my external hard drive.
Oh, Tommy, man.
Jesus Christ, Thomas. Oh, did you hear about what happened with Conspiracy Dude, by the way?
CD Fury?
Yes.
No, what happened?
So Tariq exposed this dude.
How do you expose him?
Like his face, his location, his living condition, and him scamming people. Like Tariq. I don't even like Tariq, but you know how much credibility CD Fury, Conspiracy Dude lost after that shit transpired. And I don't even like Tariq. I just never cared for Conspiracy Dude. And I'm always wary about people who don't show their faces. Like Sarge, like Jason, the so-called Black Authority. Bunch of Wizard Kelly ass niggas, man. I love to use that reference.
Oh, look at this. He made an R. Kelly Tommy Sotomayor connection.
Oh yeah, I know.
Dog. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, Tommy was the same one who said that he can't be around no high school girls because he would end up fucking them. I mean, I'm already convinced that that dude is a pansexual, man. I mean, Tommy was the same dude who told some girls on DC Harbor back in 2015, hey, man, this is us black dudes. We will fuck anything. No, niggas, don't try to speak for all black men. Fuck that shit. Because he was making a reference to this tranny known as Sydney Starr in hip-hop, who actually was saying that Chingy slept with her and the thing lied on Chingy.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, I doubt Chingy would do that because when did he stop making music? Like,
this was in the mid 2000s. This had to have been the mid 2000s. This occurred, but yeah, shit is sick. This is what makes me believe that we live in a cybernetic Babylon. You know, Drake got caught with a 17-year-old girl, Sicko, and he got a song with him called Sicko Mode.
Oh yeah, he wasn't he? I think I saw that video of him. He pulled a girl on stage. He pulled up a girl on stage, and she said she was 17 or something, and he was still complimenting her and stuff. It just looked a bit, like maybe you should ease off that. And then he was kissing her, and I was like, okay,
Drake is 32.
Yeah, it wasn't appropriate at all. He shouldn't have done that, to be honest. But to be honest, I've never really been a Drake fan.
Neither have I. I've always had a disdain for that fuck boy. He's just following the Talmud. That's all he's doing, man. He's just subscribing to the philosophy.
Oh yeah, he's definitely Jewified. Like, have you seen him with the hat and everything? Like, he's really into that stuff.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've seen it.
He's definitely a self-hater. Definitely. It's a shame.
Blackface.
I wish I could talk to him, but I don't know. I think he's too far gone.
No, just like his 09 EP. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why he made that song.
No, it was a whole project.
It was an album.
Mm-hmm. So far gone. Back in 09. I hate it. I never liked any project from Drake. Like, no. I'm like, this dude is such a clown. Like, y'all can't even convince me to like this dude.
Drake's, I mean, he's always been a bit weird. You know, I've seen videos of him. I think it was when he was in Degrassi, just grabbing guys' asses and stuff.
Yeah, he was doing something very homosexual. Like Rossi,
and then there was that video where I think he was talking about Lil Wayne.
Oh no, it was a Trey Songz. I think you're talking about Trey Songz, actually.
Trey Songz, yeah.
He's like, Trey Songz, he makes me laugh. I would never say that another man makes me laugh. Even if I find him funny, but the way he delivered it, I'm like, nah.
No, I'm talking about when he dropped the hard R when he was using the N-word.
Nigger.
Yeah, it was just weird, you know.
That nigger. He barked for Jay. That's that nigger.
And then the way he was talking about Lil Wayne, like they were fucking each other or something. Like he was just so good, so good.
This is Hollywood. This is the industry. It's that Kabbalistic bullshit. I don't know. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Keep it up. You're going to be on the anti-Semitic list with Louis Farrakhan. You keep it up. Oh,
the goyim know.
The goy knows too much. The goy, he's saying, I mean, these motherfuckers already, I can't even make money off YouTube. You already tried to restrict my channel. I mean, one of my videos from making views. I mean, come on, man. That's why I had to move on and do some other endeavors that will transcend this cybernetic Babylon known as YouTube and fucking World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to check out the video Fuck This Diaspora Rap Part 5. It's basically just a series of me talking about the dynamics of Jewish people in hip hop. You know, I was actually referring to 21 Savage and his Jew money line that he said.
Oh yeah, he got in trouble for that, didn't he?
He got in major trouble for that. And I use other examples of you could say things about so-called Caucasians and not get in trouble. Joey Badass said fuck white supremacy. Lil Wayne said what white man, money in the air. Who said white man can't jump? And you could always just look at Tariq and how much he emphasizes and speaks about white supremacy, and he's on his 5th Hidden Colors series, and nobody ever stopped him. And he has a Jewish staff and a Jewish mother-in-law, and thus, ultimately, his children is Jewish because of the maternal aspect.
Yep.
Protocols of Zion, face ass. Secret relationship between blacks and Jews, face ass. Dude, there's actually an interesting book that I got on my Amazon. I'm gonna send you a link to it about the history behind black people and Jews. Like, it's like a 500-page book. Man.
Was it written by the Nation of Islam?
No.
Oh, it's a different book.
It's an entirely different book.
Okay. Yeah, link me that after this.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy that when I made that title, Fuck This Diaspora Rap Part 5, I said the rise of the Black Planet and the fall of the 13th tribe.
Ooh.
And then I had it was a picture with a bunch of rappers like Biggie, Tupac, Nas. I think Raekwon. It was a bunch of, and then on the other side, it was the Odessa pogroms, and that where Jews were being attacked in Russia, like I was stating earlier.
Spicy.
And then I put in links. I was referring to Gloria Steinem. I made a reference to that David Rothschild telling Donald Trump to shut the fuck up, and it was a lot. No wonder why they let that video. No wonder why they restricted that video.
I'm gonna watch that now. Oh, shit.
You should see what I put in the description. I said, "Sorry, I'm late for the bat mitzvah because these Jewish bitches got their panty bit in a bunch." I was really talking my shit in that video.
How the fuck did they take it? They must be watching you then.
Yeah, they've been watching me. The moment I talked about Vlad, they have their eye on me.
Oh, they're gonna be watching me too now.
Hey man, because I'm about to do something where they legitimately can't do shit about it very soon. And you already know what it is. We ain't gonna speak on it now, but yeah. Loosey loose.
Yes. Oh. There it is. I'm late to the Batman's. Yep. I can't believe people just defended Drake over that blackface shit. But they went mad over that. What was that presenter for saying that when she was younger it was okay? She was just stating an experience that she lived. That back then it was okay to do this. She got in trouble for that. But Drake, who actually what was her name? A blonde American. I think like she was a TV presenter. Is she on? She was on that show with. I think she was on a. Is it like a Loose Women or something?
Okay.
Something like that. They were talking about the I think. I'm not sure if they were talking about the Drake blackface or another blackface. But she was talking when she was just talking about, when she was younger, it was considered okay to do that as long as you weren't hurting anybody. She got in trouble for saying that. She was just, talking about her experience growing up, her surroundings, her environment.
Yeah.
But Drake actually doing it isn't a problem, Oh, it's just art. Come on, man.
He was trying to spread awareness. Nigga, they got documentaries on blackface. What awareness were you possibly spreading? The awareness that you actually hate your black side? Is that the awareness that you were spreading?
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to do awareness, why didn't he talk about... They're still selling, do you know what the gollywogs are? The little fluffy toys?
Sounds familiar.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Okay.
These. Do you see them? These toys?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm well familiar with those.
Yeah, these are still being sold in England. Why don't you do awareness about this, Drake? Huh? You so fucking concerned.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be my lane to take. You would have to take it up to my brother Skepta.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Man, Skepta's a weirdo. I'll tell you that. They got him hooked on coke or something. He was wearing dresses to the
heard about
shows
that.
And shit. Man, they tricked him out.
What in the Jewish Kabbalah?
They're like the mob, aren't they? They must be making these they cannot refuse.
They're getting on Kevin Hart too because of his old tweets, and they said it's homophobic, and I'm like, here we go.
Look, no one has an irrational fear of two men fucking. No one does.
Nope.
And they tried to make it something it's not. The same with anti-Semitism. Like, am I not a Semite? I'm half and half, right? So I'm a Semite. Good
call. Good call.
How could I be anti myself? But yeah, it's crazy. crazy.
Because there's clearly a bigger agenda, man. I'm like, I hope you homosexuals know they don't give a fuck about you. So why you go on your gay pride parade and you have your rainbow berets and all that shit, and like, woo woo, like all that other than all that, like, just know that the man behind the chair is like, stupid faggots.
Yep, yep. He's looking at them like they're filthy sodomites, and yeah, they're just being used. It's a big chess game.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize they're one of the pawns, and they think they're the kings and queens.
Yep. One thing I'm noticing, at least here in the States, the foundations that America has is heavily based on Roman philosophies and just everything that revolves around ancient Rome, from Christmas and Saturnalia to the name of America being named after an Italian cartographer, Amerigo Vespucci, and even with the mafia like Al Capone, and just that gangster lifestyle and that mafioso lifestyle being a part of American culture.
Yeah.
Damn.
And what about the
Even the so-called person who founded America was an Italian Jew, Cristobal Colon.
And those sororities too? What are they called? Fraternities?
Mm-hmm.
It's based on, was it ancient? Well, supposedly ancient Greek.
It's like Greco-Roman. I'd say Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's a game out there called Cronus Trigger? It's like an anime-like game. And Cronus is actually a reference to the god of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Link is also considered the hero of time. Or at least the one that we know from Zelda Ocarina. And also, even with Zelda, Zel, E-L, and belonging to a royal family, it's all coming together. Yeah, but going back to it, like with Judah, like Judah will call things Luciferianism. Like I could see where that whole Israelite perspective comes from, even though he does bring a lot of historical facts and truth. And I do appreciate that. But I'm like, come on, dude, man. You can't just try to tie everything into Luciferianism.
Yeah, it's like I said before, it's kind of like he's trying to push an agenda a bit instead of, I guess, yeah, he's kind of, it seems he's a bit linear in his thinking, like it's got to be related to this and this only.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about either you align yourself with the Most High or you're Luciferian.
Yeah.
Nah. And that's why even going back to talking about Sun Ra belonged to a record label called El Saturn, and Sun Ra let it be known that he was a part of the planet Saturn, and even like when he would tell his stories about being a part of the angel race, or being the assistant of the Lord, or what the gang here in Chicago calls the Vice Lords. Yep, they Vice Lords actually, as well as the Black Pea Stones and the Mickey Cobras, actually adopted the crescent moon, which is in reference to Islam. And people argue that Allah is a moon god, which I wouldn't doubt, to be honest, during the pre-Islamic days, because the so-called Prophet Muhammad, his uncle was a chief of a pagan Arab tribe. Something that doesn't get touched on a lot, huh?
Yeah. Have you? There's this just under 3 hours, I think, a movie about the Prophet Muhammad, called Muhammad, the Messenger of God. I think it came out in 2015.
Whoa, I gotta check this out.
Yeah. Don't. If I can send it you, I will. Otherwise, you may have to watch it I don't know if you can find it on YouTube.
I was going to say something that the so-called Prophet Muhammad once said about what Thomas said about his stuff. How is it harming people? The pen is mightier than the sword, bruh.
Yep.
It's funny because that was actually said in the Hadith, and I believe after he died, where that's when the whole Sunni and Shia started going on. Mm-hmm. And
Damian Marley also touched on that, didn't he? He said in that song.
What song?
It was written. He said.
Yeah, he did. He did refer to it.
Yeah, he said something. What did he say?
But I think he referred to it as a knife. Yeah. Could be wrong.
I forgot what he said. Damn.
I do know what line you're referring to, but I just can't remember verbatim what was said. I do know what you're referring to, though. And it was written.
You know the pen is stronger than the knife.
Yep. See, I told you.
They can kill you once, but they can't kill you twice. Yeah.
Yep. Spot on. Yeah, but my whole purpose behind getting tattoos, the majority of it will be, Daniel, it's me challenging all these perspectives while putting my own sub meanings behind it. Yeah. Like when I showed you, hold on, let me expand this bitch. When I showed you this, and that's the twin dragon, that's the twin-headed dragon in regards to alchemy, actually. And this all ties back to the Hermetic teachings and Hermes, and people could say that that's wickedness, but then everything has a duality to it. Just like we were saying about a demon and a daemon. And yeah, you could look at one angel and then you could look at the fallen angels and shit like that. And I was gonna get a jinn spirit, and I was gonna get a phoenix, like a phoenix dragon, and then a jinn. I'm debating on getting Ali Selassie is one of them. I might.
That'd be cool.
Yup. Shoot. Even people down in Belize were actually venerate Ali Selassie. Because there's plenty of Jamaicans down there in the Caribbean. And there in Belize, so yeah.
There's actually a group of people in, I think I'm not sure, they practice Rastafari and Islam. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because there is a faction of Islam that it's similar to Omniism in a way, but it's just done more in a religious fashion, where there's Muslims who are polytheistic, which actually would go against the original tenets of Islam, where that would be considered being an idol worshiper. And they talk about idolatry all day in the Quran. I know this because I have a Quran in my crib.
I can't find it, but yeah, I think it's in Ethiopia. It might be in Ethiopia, but they drink this coffee. Yeah, I can't find it, but yeah, it's
no worries.
They have freeform dreads. They wear like these garbs. Yeah, and they talk about, I guess, practicing Islam or preaching Islam in a peaceful way and whatnot. I don't know. It was really interesting because I've never seen. The only time I've ever heard of like two religions crossing over like that is something called a Hindu, which are like Indian Jews. They like practice Hindu. They celebrate Hindu holidays and Jewish holidays. I thought it was made up when I first heard it, but apparently not. It's a real thing.
Wow.
Because it does sound a bit Hindu, It does sound a bit fake. think it's called Hindu.
Hindu, that's what it's called.
Let me see if I can find it.
Do you know that India and Israel actually have a strong relationship with one another? They like have this emissary on one another.
Know that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised by that.
It probably got calling centers in India. That's why. I mean.
And I was gonna say, a lot of the Dravidians or people in like southern India also interbreeded with a lot of the Aryans or the Punjabs, which made those Indians.
Yeah.
The ones that the average Indian you would see today. I'm definitely gonna have to read the Book of the Dead, man. I don't even mind reading the American Book of the Dead, like either that or the Tibetan one.
Yeah.
I look at all these dudes. I'm sure even Sarah Suden this applies to, and I know Young Pharaoh. Like they talk about I mean, the dude Young Pharaoh literally called himself Young Pharaoh. Like I've never heard Young Pharaoh even talk about the Nilotics or the Nubians or the Bejas or even talk about ancient Kemet or like he'll just use a lot of that science that I'm sure that he regurgitated somewhere by one of these pseudo neo pro black Negroes. And then just go from there. This nigga believes that the black woman is God. And going back to India, I learned something interesting about where that even derives from. Thug and Thuga, like it derives from like venerating a goddess known as Kali.
Kali. Is it Kali?
Kali.
Yeah.
That makes me think about when people's like, man, boy, I'm finna smoke me some of that. I'm gonna smoke me some of that Cali Kush though. I'm like, because it's funny because even within that vicinity goes back to the Kush Mountains around India, Afghanistanish.
Wasn't there a group of people in ancient Egypt called Kush?
Oh yeah, that too. That too. I'm pretty sure that India and Egypt actually have a history with each other. Like I'm talking about in terms of antiquity, like in terms of the antiquity aspect of it. Like the Indians actually taught a lot of Egyptians.
Maybe.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but allegedly.
I mean, something to do with Egyptian. I don't know if you've heard about the not heard, sorry. Yeah, heard or watched the video by Pharaoh said that. He mentioned that he talks about angel races.
Is this the same video in regards to Sun Ra?
Yeah, this is kind of like so he mentions like a hierarchy. You've got like the Most High, and you've got like gods and goddesses, then you've got like Lord gods and whatever. And
demigods?
Yeah, there's like an order of it's crazy. I don't know which video it is, but he explains it really well. And he talks about how the reason why Lucifer is pissed is because in the Bible it says they looked upon the humans and they looked upon the human woman and saw them as fair and procreated with them to create the modern day human, and that put the order of humans above Lucifer himself. So he's trying to make the so what he's trying to do is sabotage human belief, make them hate their own god or their own creator and worship him instead. And I just thought that's interesting. But I don't know. I need to really I guess the Bible will help explain that kind of perspective more. So I need to get reading on the Bible really.
That sounds more like what's going on today.
Yeah.
Especially with the so-called Caucasian Jews. See, they're displaying the 7 deadly sins right now, and this being wrath. It's funny because Karl Marx is an atheist. He actually rejects religion. Religion is the opium of the masses, and communism and Marxism is the remedy, right? Do you know that actually one of the Ethiopian leaders was actually a communist? I forgot his name, but he was an Ethiopian. I think he came before Selassie, either a little before or a little after, and he was subscribed to communism. And you already know the history with Orientals. Oh my goodness! Other than Japan and Singapore, when you look at Mao Zedong,
Chairman Mao.
Chairman Mao.
His one child. Was it him who enforced the one child policy?
Probably.
I think it was. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, if the UK falls under communism, which it probably is, I mean, we're pretty fascist over here. That I wouldn't be surprised if a one-child policy was enforced here, because communism really only works in small groups. You know, you got to keep the population. You know, if the population grows too large, you know, it makes everyone worse off, because there's no, you know, if everyone's on an equal playing field, it's like everyone loses out.
I thought that was the whole idea of communism, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
The fucking conundrum. Way to go, Frederick and Karl Marx. Frederick Engels and Marx. Man, oh man. Yeah, I was reading on Marxism, and I spoke about this briefly in that Fuck This Diaspora Rap Part 5 about there being a dialectical approach, and I referred to cultural Marxism, which is what we have today as political correctness. Free speech don't mean jack shit.
It's an illusion. Well, in this system, anyway.
Yep. But yeah, man, when the time comes, Daniel, I'm gonna have to send you a secret proxy to, you know, break the fourth wall on the powers that be. End the video off just like that.